I'm telling everyone to throw away their scale.
Mm-hmm.
I do not care about your weight. I care about your body composition. And it's a critical step before people start GLP-1s. It should be a core part of the way that we measure human health.
Yeah. And it takes 6 minutes and it's totally painless. It's not like you're in a tiny tube in an MRI. So
oh my God. It's
nothing
nothing compared to an MRI.
Yeah.
And infinitely cheaper. You can get them for like $60.
Great. So you start with some real data.
We start with some real data around all the things: full body composition, blood work looking at inflammation, thyroid, cholesterol, metabolic health, and understanding where are we starting from, and are there things that we need to do to optimize all of this through, diet and lifestyle. And then where are we with diet and lifestyle, right? And so with the GLP-1s, we start with all of that blood work. We start with a full body DEXA, and we start with understanding what's going on with people socially, emotionally. Because in many cases, there's a lot that can be addressed. If somebody has a thyroid condition that's untreated, well, that's why they're gaining weight, or that's why their cholesterol's through the roof. If they have trauma and binge eating disorder, we want to do everything we can to address that, because that's really the root cause of what's going on. And then I look at a GLP-1 as something that we're layering in when we've created a good foundation, and then we're able to track over time what the impact of that GLP-1 is, along with the impact on things like lean muscle mass.
Is your goal with a GLP-1 to eventually get people off of the GLP-1?
Yeah.
And I mean, what I'm reading more and more, and this might have to do with the blunting of dopamine receptors or production, but that along the way on a GLP-1, your taste profile or the things that taste good are changing. So you're actually able to move away from those ultra-processed foods and chips and fries that you used to love, because you're not getting the same kind of dopamine spritz associated with those foods. Are you seeing that
I see lots of people able to get off of them and stabilize off of them for long periods of time. I also see people get off of them, largely stay off of them, and then do these sort of couple month, 3-month mini sprints once every year, once every 18 months to kind of stay on track.
Are you seeing any relationship with alcohol there too?
Absolutely. I'm definitely seeing people for whom the amount they were drinking has gone down tremendously. The cravings for alcohol are going down. The need for alcohol in social settings, that sort of habitual social alcohol that I see. I live in New York City, so I see a lot of people for whom that's kind of the norm, really significantly decrease.
And contraindications, risks, side effects?
Side effects are the things you hear about all the time. For some people, nausea, constipation, acid reflux, like all the GI symptoms. If you start low and slow, for most people, you can kind of get past that or be at a dose that is tolerable. There's some indications around thyroid health, so you do want to check people's thyroid health. There are indications around making sure you get skin checks. There is a slightly increased risk of like melanoma. And I think the biggest one just being what you talked about earlier, which is losing lean muscle mass.
Anything else on GLP-1s?
Well, I think when you asked earlier, like, is this right for me?
Yeah.
The thing that I see people doing is like buying GLP-1s and DIYing them off the internet. And first of all, you don't know when you're not getting them through a doctor, whether those GLP-1s are coming from a legitimate compounding pharmacy. I just saw some report that said that 30% of peptides, not the GLP-1s, but are contaminated or not what they say they are. And I think that if you want to do GLP-1s right, you need to be working with a health professional, a doctor, who is looking at all of these other aspects of your health, is screening your thyroid, is looking at your metabolic health, is asking you about your lean muscle mass, is putting you on a nutrition program, is making sure you're getting skin checks for melanoma, like doing all the things that you, if you are just buying this off the internet, cannot be expected to do for yourself.